Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Annalisa Kerr, and I am an immigration lawyer. I set up this UK visit visa page on Facebook because I wanted to share my knowledge on how to make an application for a visit visa in the UK without clogging up my personal profile page, because I'm sure not a lot of people would want to know about UK visit visa. So this is specifically this is a page is specifically for those people who are interested in knowing how to make the application on your own, for example, or for those sponsors who want to invite their friends and family from outside the UK to come to the UK and see them and spend time with them and show the UK, to show some tourist places in London, and how to go about applying the visit visa. Okay, so let me just grab my phone and check whether I'm actually live on the page itself, because I don't want to kind of waste. Okay, I think I am live. Yes, I think I am live. Yes. Okay, so I am live. Okay, but I'm just gonna turn this off. All right. Okay, so visit visa. There's a lot of refusals on UK visit visa, but at the same time, you can get it right first time. A lot of people, what they do is they think that visit visa it's so easy to apply, and it is. It really is. It's all a matter of completing the form online. But what you have to remember is, if you don't show to the Home Office that you are a genuine visitor, or as in you're actually just going to you come to the UK to see to see the UK, to see the London tourist places and all other beautiful world-renowned places in the UK. The Home Office will find excuse to reject your visa. And once you have a rejection, then it becomes a bit difficult to then start again and convince the Home Office that you have that you are a genuine visitor, because the refusal that they have against you will go on your record. And so the next time you apply, it will be digged up, and then they will check what did you say in that application form, and why did you make another application, and what was difference? Have you had change in circumstances before you then got the before you made the new application? So that is essentially the gist. So it's very important to get the application right. Everything is online now, and in some cases, people tend to go to travel agents, in their home country, and that's naturally, that's where you would look into, and you think that the travel agent will know what the visa procedure is. They'll know what the requirements are in terms of showing to the UK government. We call it entry clearance officer. So this is the officer looking at the application, showing the entry clearance officer that you have that you are a genuine visitor and you have the necessary funds, and that you will leave at the end of your planned trip. Okay, so that's very, very important to do that. But in some cases, travel agents don't normally, perhaps they work on the basis that you are a genuine visitor. And I think if you are a genuine visitor, it's quite easy to prove it, isn't it? So what you'd have to do is, when you apply for visit visa, it's all about showing that you can afford it. Okay, so even though you have a sponsor in the UK, the sponsor who is supposed to pay for all the expenses, like the flight tickets, the accommodation, all the other expenses, they're supposed to show that they have enough funds. Okay, so I have clients who who've been living in the UK for many years, and they have family, immediate family, like for example children, younger children, who they can't sponsor to join them in the UK, and so they want to naturally they want to invite their family, the children, to come to the UK. But when it comes to applying, it's really, really important that you don't just apply and hope for the best and sort of like, oh, well, I have a job and I have about £1,000 in my account, that should do it. Okay. Well, it doesn't. Okay. Because the Home Office, if the person applying from their home country don't have a job, he or she doesn't have a job, doesn't have any assets, doesn't have any family, as in, they're not married, they don't have children, and there is absolutely nothing that ties them down in their home country, and then a sponsor promises to pay for their trip, but then when they apply, the documents that's being submitted are actually quite let's say inadequate. Okay, so I have clients where they would say, yeah, okay, I'm paying for everything, and I have a job, it's fine, you can provide payslips and so on. We all have jobs in the UK, otherwise you won't survive with benefits. It'd be so hard to survive, but then you can't then invite people to come to the UK and show them around, because you won't have any money. But when you are a sponsor, you have to make sure that you have enough. You have to show that you have savings in your account, thousands. Even at present, 2,000 is not really a lot of money, because by the time you pay for the ticket for your, for the applicant, there won't be a lot left after you pay for the ticket. So the Home Office calculates it and looks at your ability to pay for the applicant's expenses, travel expenses, and so they would refuse that application. Okay, so very, very important, therefore, to check the finances, because applying for visa, it's all about money. Okay, it's all about money. It's all about being able to show to the entry clearance officer that you can afford the trip. But some people make mistakes as well in completing their form, and then they say, especially if they have relatives in the UK, and they think that they can just say, oh, I don't have anything to do in my home country, I'm not employed, I'm single, but I want to spend time with my mother, my father, or my aunt, my grandmother in the UK, and I'm going to say in the application form, 2 months, I want to stay there for 2 months. And the usual, or sometimes some of them actually say 6 months, but if you look at it from the entry clearance point of view, or the UK government, or whoever is looking at your application, if you say you're staying for 6 months or however many months, okay, then that doesn't really show that you're a genuine visitor, does it? Because it just says, well, I want to stay in the UK. But what are you going to do with those 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? What are you going to do with that? Well, you have to be able to explain why you're coming to the UK, why you want to stay for 6 months or however long, more than 2 months. You have to explain that. But also you have to show that you have funds. You have a lot of funds to actually afford to stay in the UK for the duration of your trip. As you say, you would like to stay 6 months, okay? So that's also one of the reasons why the entry clearance would refuse the visit visa, okay? What other things? I found as well that I actually have a story, and it's really, 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 really a shame, because so a client came to me and say, well, I want my son to come to the UK on a business visa, but he's been refused, I think twice already when she came to me. And so the situation was like this. So she was from Eastern Europe. She married a British citizen. So she was able to, I think she was already in the UK when she married the British citizen. And she then sponsored her son, who was under 18 years old. So that was fine. So her son was, joined her. But then she has another child who is over 18 years old, and she decided to apply for his visit visa. and unfortunately, twice already it was refused. Now, when you look at the refusal letter, and it's very, very common, you know, I can show you refusal letters, what they say on the refusal letter. They will say things like, well, we don't believe that you're going to go back at the end of your travel trip, or we don't believe that you are a genuine visitor because, you know, blah, 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 blah. But they just pick on anything, okay? Once the Home Office says, I don't believe in you going back to your home country, then any reasoning behind that statement they will pick, such as you're single, such as you haven't had travel history, such as you don't have any ties in your home country, such as you're not employed. Okay, so anything, or such as you haven't provided enough proof that you can accommodate, you can afford to finance and maintain yourself while you are in the UK, even though you have, you know, shown that you can afford, you can maintain yourself while staying in the UK. But anyway, going back to the client, so she came to me and said, well, could you help me? And we did. She even sent a letter to the MP, asked MP to help with, you know, getting her son to come to the UK. So there were a lot of reasons why the son was refused. And so what she did was she made absolutely sure that all of those points of the refusal she could show. I think the last application that she did, because she didn't want, you know, so she had to wait, I think, about a year, and made sure everything was resolved. So if one of the refusals said that, oh, you haven't had travel history, so she made sure that she sent her son traveling around the world, traveling all over the world, actually Canada, USA, South America, around Europe, around Asia. In fact, Asia, he traveled around the world. So that one. And then it said something, and one of the refusals said, you did not have any assets. Okay, so there's no assets in your home country. So she made sure her assets got transferred to him. So I think her house she transferred to him, so that in the next application that she was going to do was to show that he has assets. So that's the one. The other one was, well, you don't have a job. Okay, so you're unemployed. And so when we applied, we also provided proof that he is already working at this stage. Sorry. So all these points in the refusal letter was resolved, and so that when we applied, we provided all those information that the Home Office were unhappy, or, you know, when I say Home Office, that means it's the entry clearance officer or the department that refused the application. So when we submitted it, we made sure that we showed everything that the Home Office were unhappy about in his previous applications. And guess what? Do you think he got his visa? Well, well, you would think so, right? So because if the Home Office said in the first refusal was, well, you know, you're I mean, not single, but you're unemployed, you know, you don't have enough travel, you haven't shown enough travel history, you haven't got any assets, and all these things. So you would think that because in the previous applications he resolved them and applied again and showed to the Home Office that he has all these points, but unfortunately it was still refused. Okay, and the reason being is that because he was the only person in his home country. He didn't have any ties there. He didn't have, I think his grandmother has died. His mother obviously lives in the United Kingdom. His brother lives in the UK. And so they refused that you're not a genuine visitor because they think that he's not going to go back to his own country. And so that was refused. Okay. So that was the one of the most frustrating applications that I've ever that I have ever dealt with, because it's frustrating for the mother. All the mother was doing was making sure that her son can come to the UK. You know, they can experience life, even if it's just for a week or two, to show him around. And but unfortunately, that was still a refusal. So there are so many aspects that the Home Office refuse. There are so many factors that the Home Office can refuse your application. It can be because you have criminal conviction. It can be if you have been deported before, if you have been excluded from the Home Office, and if you have been banned. Okay, so all of these things. But the most frustrating of it is when they give you a very, very generalized refusal letter, meaning they do not believe that you are a genuine visitor, because you can't then resolve it. You can't then correct whatever that they weren't happy about. So it could be just, for example, if you have applied and there are some certain requirements that you haven't ticked, it would be nice, wouldn't it, if you were told when you get your business visa application, the decision, when you get the decision back, it would be nice if they actually just say, oh, well, you haven't submitted this, and therefore we refused your visa application. That would be really, really great. But unfortunately, with the UK visit visa refusals, it's very, very generalized, and so it's very important to get it right. Okay, so that's all I want to say today. But in the next couple of days, I will be creating a checklist of documents that you can submit if you want to for your visa application, and you can download that somewhere in the link in the page. And any other questions that you want, any other topics that you want me to discuss, then feel free to do that. Hello, I can't read your name, but I know who you are. Thanks for watching. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep an eye on the page, and follow and like, and hopefully I can give you a lot more information about how to make a UK visa application on your own without a lawyer, without any assistance of a lawyer. So basically, it's a guidance that you can use to do it on your own, and you will be so much in control with the process, with the whole process, because it's all online these days. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.